Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katrina and this is Katrina Reads. So I'm back doing another tag. Oh, my shirt is so wrinkled in my dress. I'm back doing another tag. This is the Booktube Favorites Tag. I was tagged in this by Dunn Reads and Writes, and this was created by a bibliophile's journal. So let's get right into it. The first prompt is a booktuber you have watched the longest, and that would be Books and Lala. A booktuber I just started watching is the second prompt. Bookborn is a person that I just started watching. She, I found her today because I was looking for some other reviews on a book that I just finished reading, and I'm really confused about how I feel on it. And a lot of times that will help me to clarify what I'm thinking. And even if everybody has a different opinion of what I'm feeling with the book, that still will help me clarify why I'm confused or why I can't put my finger on what I didn't like. And so this person, you know, had an interesting point of view with it, but it was quick. It was kind of, I liked her kind of bubbly personality without being too sugary, and I liked her aesthetic. So Bookborn. And then a couple days ago I found the Courtagonist. I really hope I'm saying that right, but her videos really seem to surround, it's all dedicated to cozy mysteries, and I didn't know that someone had a channel like that, especially since very few people that I see very few people reading cozy mysteries, and then to find someone whose whole channel is dedicated to it was a delight. A booktuber you have became friends with or met. Oh, I haven't met anybody yet, but Dunn Reads and Writes is quickly becoming someone who is a friend. We really support each other on our channels, and we're always commenting and liking, and I really like that. It feels like we're part of this freshman class of booktubers coming up with another set of it's a group of us that kind of are starting to interact a lot, and they are part of that group, and I like that. I appreciate that. We're kind of always the first ones on in each other's comment boxes, and I really appreciate that. A booktuber you get the most recommendations from would be Starlah Reads. Very few booktubers. I love just listening to people talk about books. I love watching people show off bookmarks that they've gotten. I love them opening up all kinds of book paraphernalia. But Starlah Reads, I found, even though she reads a lot of science fiction and like STEM stuff and kind of speculative stuff, the thrillers that she pushes, I can't think of the word, recommends, I've liked almost all of them. And I've found some new African American recommendations from her. Bluebird was just a plain old run-of-the-mill police procedural that was written by a Black person and had a Black person at the center of the book, and I just love that. So Attica Locke is like a new author that I'm picking up books for when I'm in those series. Like, I use police procedural kind of detective mysteries as kind of a palate cleanser, just to kind of when I always want to be reading, but sometimes I need to zone out between a heavier book or something like that. And so Attica Locke's Bluebird series is probably going to be one of those series. I really enjoyed Bluebird. I don't know if it's called Bluebird series. Whoever that detective is, and I can't remember the name, shows up in other series. A booktuber you watch that reads genres that you do not, and that would again be Starlah. OliviaReadsaLatte is that way as well. She reads lots of YA and fantasy, and I just love her vlogs. I love her dog and her cat. I love her aesthetic with the candles and the journals and the coffee, and I love everything. I love it. I love whatever filter she uses on her videos. I love her. I love her. So I get excited when I see a video of hers has come into my inbox. A booktuber whose videos make you happy. Again, that's OliviaReadsaLatte's channel. It's very aesthetic. Books and Lala and Riley Marie are also very creative with their ideas. They obviously do the reading and the wrap-ups and the TBRs, but they always have some creative project going on. So the latest project that Books and Lala did was a year-long experiment where she used other booktubers' thumbnail style to do her thumbnails and then try to find her aesthetic when it came to thumbnails. And then she did this whole thing where she kind of tracked the analysis and the data with YouTube to see if there was a difference, and it really wasn't a difference, I think she found. But it did help her kind of find what she actually liked when it came to her thumbnails. It was another cool one she did. She does a series of reading all of her childhood favorites. Riley Marie does the same thing. So Riley Marie just recently did a video where she tried to find, it ended up being pretty difficult for her, but she tried to find a bunch of books that Shauna McGuire, who is her favorite author, had blurbed. So there's no, database that tracks blurbs. So she had to do all of this work, and I appreciate all of the work that, these creative booktubers put into this kind of stuff, where she went to a bookstore and spent like 3 hours looking at the backs of all these books. First, she got the ones that she already had in her very large library. Then she went to a bookstore and she said she went through for 3 hours looking at all the backs of the books, trying to find books that were blurred by Shauna McGuire. She found one there, and then she went to the publisher, that Tor publisher, who is also Shauna McGuire's publisher, to kind of see if she's blurred someone else in the same publishing group. And I think she found 2 more there, and then she did a full reading vlog based on that. And I think that's pretty creative and cool. So number 7 is booktubers I want to buddy read with. Absolutely AJ, because they have already gotten me to pick up some more Stephen King when I wasn't even preparing to do Stephen King. Yeah, the last 2 books that I've gotten is because they're doing a read through chronologically of all Stephen King's books, and so it just made me think, it made me kind of nostalgic for Stephen King. And so I was like, you know what, I haven't done some of his classics. Like they said on their tag that we do like thrillers and horror and murder mysteries and stuff like that. And so I would love to do one where we just switch it. And I guess I've never done a buddy read, but from what I've seen other people do, they kind of, if it's a big one, people will have groups for it on Goodreads and things like that. But I think that we would just get together, read the book together, talk to each other about it, and then come together and maybe do a live show, or even, because we're not big on lives and stuff like that yet, just maybe do companion videos. Maybe that's the way we would do it right now with such small channels and things like that. We'd read the books and then talk about the books that we read, the book or whatever that we read, from our different points of view on our channel. And then just say, hey, if you want to hear another point of view from this book, about this book, go to AJ's book channel, and stuff like that. That's the only thing I can think of. Number 8 is under 1,000, a booktuber with under 1,000 subscribers that I love. That would be Blues Reviews. She isn't as active yet, but the few videos that she has put up so far, I love her personality. Is very soft-spoken and everything, but I agree with so much of what she says when it comes to the books that she's read. And I don't know if I'm going to be saying this name right, but Lockin Reads book reviews, Lochan. Her reviews are so educational. Like, I am super up on Black history and well read in it, but she reviewed Don't Touch My Hair and added all this extra stuff that I learned, and that I appreciated so much. Like, the book was, she talked about how there was the maps and stuff written into cornrows and everything, and I had only known about how sometimes people would braid rice into their kids' hair so that, or maybe when they were running away so they can always have food. I knew that there were maps and stuff on quilts, but I didn't know that maps were braided into the hair. I didn't know that cornrow was a colonial name. I thought that cornrow was what everybody called it, whatever, but it has different names from Africa. The names are totally different, and that was very eye-opening. And I love the video clips and the memes that she puts into her videos, so I appreciate her channel. And last but not least, number 9, a booktuber with over 1,000 subscribers that I love. And I am sorry, I don't, Books Like Whoa is a newer person that I'm subscribed to, but they have 1,000 or more than 1,000, you know, they're in the double digits, I think. But I like that they have a couple series of deep reading on Agatha Christie and things like that. So if someone wanted to go back and do, I think she did Agatha Christie, I think she did some other classics. I like that she will read these like highbrow books, but then at the same time she reads all these crazy sci-fi romance sex books. I just love that. She also is very well read in like anti-racist nonfiction, and she's a power reader. I watched a live between Mara from Books Like Whoa, Ashley from Bookish Realm, and Bethany from Beautifully Bookish Bethany, and they talked about how they're able to read like 300 books a year. I think maybe Ashley read 400, and so that was interesting as well, just to listen to her. So like any given month, like there's a treasure trove. You're going to get multiple book recommendations from her, or you know, and so she also is the reason why I am trying the Side Changeling series, and she just started a podcast. She's doing every other Tuesday, and I think it's up on Mondays on podcasting sites, but then it's up on Tuesdays, every other Tuesday. And so I read the first book and then listened to her talk about it, and she's excited about it and she's all into it. I didn't love the first book. I gave the first book a 2 out of 5, but I'm going to try the second one just because I want to give it a chance. So that's the end of this tag, what's it called again? The Booktube Favorite Tag. And I'm going to tag Moodread with Tasha, Cozy Reading with Quaker Cats, and Jim Reading Books and Things in this tag. Actually, I think, right, yes, Jim Reading Books and Things. I was getting confused about another tag that he told me to do, and that's a different tag. If you made it to the end of this video, please leave in the tag emoji. Also, thank you so much for supporting me by liking and subscribing, ringing that bell so that you know whenever I upload a video. Be easy on yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.